Hello? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Um, can you guys hear me? Hello? I don't know. I didn't make the title. It just did it. I I had I had it set up with Omelet Arcade and it wasn't working. So I changed it to Streamlabs. How's everyone doing tonight? Yeah. I'm going to hey guys. How do I make someone a mod on here? Fuck, I didn't think this through. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. I'm trying not to curse on here. Crap. Cancel. How do I make a mod? Oh my gosh. It's not letting me mod. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, well, that's interesting. Hi guys. Yeah, I keep trying to click on you guys, but it just says remove it. Oh no. Oh no. No, there isn't 3 dots on the side. It's on Streamlabs. Hold on. I'm gonna exit out of the app and see if I can do it on YouTube. Can you guys hear me again? Hey, Kate. Is it back up? And did the mods go through? Awesome. All right. I want to just wait maybe like a minute or two more before I start with my intro. And all that jazz, and then we can get on to the Q&A. But how is everyone doing tonight? I'm sorry that I've been having like technical difficulties. Did you guys hear that? Awesome. I'm glad it's working. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm on my phone right now going live with Streamlabs. So it is doable. It's definitely doable. I can't change like the title or anything like that right now though. I'll do that once it's over. Sorry, it's weird as hell. It was another streaming service that I downloaded, but it was being finicky. So I just went with the Streamlabs. Officially CDC on the job. Yeah, I don't have a laptop. Oh. If they can dislike it, that's fine. It's my first stream. I've never done this before. I'm sorry. Oh, thanks. You don't kind of like it though. But thank you. All right. I think it's been a minute, so I'm going to start with my intro if that's cool with everyone. So obviously I wanted to go live and talk with everyone about everything surrounding me, all the stuff that's been going on. I want to make this very clear, though, first. Anyone can join, anyone can voice their opinions. I just ask everyone to be respectful. My mods are aware of the behavior I'm not going to tolerate, but to any viewers, please don't say any slurs, don't come for anyone's family not included or involved in any situations, and if don't go for anything people can't change, like appearance. If it does happen, the comment will be removed, and then if it happens again, you'll go in timeout. But I do cuss, though. If you can tell, it's just part of my normal vocabulary. I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum, but it's just how I talk. This live stream is being done, but I'm not off hiatus. Like, I'm not. I will be deactivating my Twitter, and I'm not sure when I'll be back, but hopefully I will be back in a couple months. I'm going to be doing some intense work with my therapist, and I want to come back once I'm able to deal with the stuff that happens with becoming a creator. And realities pronoun. Yeah, my pronouns are they, them. Please try to be mindful of that. But things in general have been weighing heavy on my heart, and so I talked to my therapist about everything online, and she thinks like a good thing would be having an open dialogue through voice. So at the end of the Q&A and everything, I know I mess up and I stumble on my words a lot, especially when I'm nervous, and I'm pretty nervous. So I just want to do that. And then I also have other apologies that I haven't written down, but I also want to say them. But yeah, so once the stream's done, I'll put a timestamp in the description for those who don't care about the Q&A and they just want to go to the apologies. Why do you have Ellie and here for the T pinned instead of something that represents you and your goals? Okay, we'll do that first question first. I pinned it when I first made the thread, just because I wanted people to know my opinion, but it's simply my opinion. But when I come back, it probably won't be pinned. I'm not sure what exactly I'm gonna be doing. Once I come back, I know I need to change things. I'm just not sure exactly how I'm going to change things yet for myself and then for my small platform. So I don't know what I'll be doing, but it probably won't be pinned when I come back, but it is right now. I think it's an important discussion and opinion that I have, but I can understand, that. Why do you think social media has impacted you to this degree? I guess, I don't know. I originally joined the scene because I saw stuff that I didn't like happening, and I wanted to, see if I can fix things or change things and try to mend the divide and see if I can, we can hold people accountable without being mean about it, I guess. And have good open discussions. And I also saw it as a hobby. I can meet people that also, likes beauty stuff and likes, talking about these deeper issues within the beauty community. And then once things started going, I guess, south and just wasn't once I started getting, like, hate comments, that's when I started, like, I started losing focus on what I want to do, I guess. And even though, like, I've heard worse while I was in the military, I didn't want to, I don't know. It still hurts, especially because I thought, like, the community, everyone kind of wants the same goal, so I didn't think, like, it would be that bad, if that makes sense. Why has the community made you cry since November? So it's not the community as a whole. There are certain people on certain accounts that I'm not going to be disclosing because I don't want hate sent their way. I learned that lesson the hard way. But there was other accounts that have been just saying very mean stuff since November. And it just has made me upset, I guess. Once you realized Twitter was triggering you and going south, why didn't you just peace out? So I'm actually working through this with my therapist. In a majority of situations in my life, if I feel like I can fix it, which 99% of the time I think I can, I won't just cut my losses, if that makes sense. I will keep doing it even if it hurts to try to fix the problems that there are. So that's why. Do you have any brothers? If so, are they older or younger? Yes, I have 2 brothers. One is, I believe, 8 on my dad's side, and then I have a brother turning 4 on my mom's side. Military, thank you for your service. Thank you for your support. Or just straight up troll accounts purely created to harass you. Yep. There were definitely accounts, specific accounts with my name in it, made to harass me. What do you mean by mean? I was being called transphobic slurs such as the T word or tranny. Don't say that word though. But those kind of things. I was being compared to terrible figures in history because of my opinion. It's just been, it's a lot of hateful things. There's been a lot of hateful stuff sent my way or said about me, and I've either seen it myself or got screenshots. It's not been it's just been mean. Do you think you can take a real break off of social media, like zero interaction? I hope so. I hope so too. That's why I'm going to be deactivating through my program. And I really do hope that not only I can stay off of it during my program, but also afterwards. Like, I want to be in the place where I'll be able to handle comments like that, because I know it's sadly a part of being on the internet, especially in a spot where more people notice you. So I do think I'm definitely going to try to take a real break. It's been really hard, honestly, because I've seen I forgot my train of thought. I'm sorry. What do you think you can take a real break off of social media, like zero interaction? I hope so. Oh, right. What I was saying, it's hard. I don't know. It's hard to be able to take a step back, if that makes sense. Why haven't you posted your DC Exposed series that you talked up last year? So there was a lot of different reasons why I haven't posted it, and you don't have to believe me or anything like that, but honestly, I don't even know if I want to post it anymore. And it I don't know. I don't think the community's in a space to talk about the terrible things that people have said or have done or have, just things that have happened that, I don't know. Are you trans or non-binary? Can you explain the differences and or similarities? So I am non-binary. It is under the trans umbrella. So you have binary trans people that are either a trans woman or a trans man, and then you have the non-binary umbrella. So specifically under the non-binary umbrella, I'm gender fluid. I go by they, them pronouns because it's what I'm most comfortable with. A majority of the days, I myself present masc or androgynous, but any non-binary person can present in whatever way they want, anything like that. So, normally, I do have money. Normally, I'm able to donate some money to friends or people that I care about, or even people on GoFundMe that I don't know. Normally, I'm able to donate and help them out if there's a crisis or something like that. And I try to really help them out because I've been in a place where I haven't had a lot of money. And I know what that's like. We just haven't been budgeting for another laptop. And that's what it's come down to. We've been, especially now, we have essentially no money. I haven't been able to help out people in the way that I normally do, and that's definitely been upsetting. But, yeah. Social media is very addictive and can be very hard to pull away from. Yep. It's definitely hard. I definitely have personal social media too. I love TikTok. I am addicted to this stupid app and I can't stop. But it cracks me up all the time. It's really funny. Some of the videos. So I don't know. I don't think I would ever be able to fully disconnect from social media, but I'm definitely trying to step back from the drama community as a whole and work on myself. Because if it's just me looking at videos, I'm not getting involved in anything. You know what I mean? What does money have to do with the time it takes to make an entire experience? Has Twitter worked as a coping tool for you in the past? Why or why not? Yeah, so my actual personal Twitter, because I don't have family on it and stuff like that, and I didn't have anyone in my old unit and stuff. So when I've been dysphoric or my PTSD has been really bad or my SI is really bad, I would just vent all over my personal Twitter. I've stopped doing that about a year ago. It would be a year in March. Just because it was almost isolating to do that. I would be venting and I wouldn't be telling anyone what I was venting about. And then things would get worse for me because I'm not telling people how I was feeling and stuff like that. So, if that makes sense. Oh, you like my voice? I'm glad. I was trying actually to connect my PS4 headset that can change my voice to my phone. because I'm a little self-conscious about it, and I don't really like talking that much. But thank you. Did you know beforehand that your sister was planning an attack? No. So, if I knew she was going to say the things she was going to say, I would have told her absolutely not, don't even do that. But she reassured me she was just going to make it stop and that I needed to get rest. So I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. I probably should get to bed. I need to calm down. That sort of thing. Did you know from the start it was your sister's sock account, or did you find out later? Did you know from the start it was your sister's sock account, or did you find out later? So, she told me she was making an account, and I knew that it was going to be her when she followed me, so I followed her, but I didn't realize the level that she would be doing. Okay. Oh my god, the chat. You have been assisting your family with the I don't mean to be disrespectful, but was that really your sister's tweet, or maybe yourself? No, it wasn't mine. No. Even though I've been this hurt, I wouldn't say those things. Certain words I don't agree with using, for myself at least. And she used them, so no. I'm late, but I'm here. Gigi, I don't know how to make you a mod. Can someone else make her a mod? Is that a thing? Did someone ask you to dox your sister? What was the purpose of that wording? Someone did ask me to tell her to post her apology on her personal and then for me to retweet it. And I said no. I'm not going to do that. Did you like your sister's tweets at the time? No, I wasn't even up when it happened. And then once I found out everything that was going down, no, I don't condone that behavior. Any family member would be upset and lash out accordingly. Did your sister come to her own conclusions, or did she mimic your venting to a troll? How did she know specific insults? Such specific insults. So, I told her pretty much everything that I knew about these people when I was talking about everything that was happening. And yeah. Have you had a chance yet to step back and analyze what part you may have played in this? I do feel a level of guilt because I did tell her everything. You know, I told her literally everything. Ever since, hate started happening, I would tell her, you can't believe what this person, all of these things. And I didn't say handles. And then when I did say handles and she said she took care of it, or she was going to take care of it. Sorry, I misspoke. I was like, okay, all right. And then I went to bed. So I didn't realize, I don't know. Have you ever shared DMs without consent? Yes, I have, and I feel terrible about it. It's actually a part of my apology. So I will be touching on that later. I'm going to. Why did your sister mention me considering you and I are friends? So, Sev, I honestly. I was hurt, I guess, when you agreed with Ellie, and I was talking about that specific situation with my sister on top of everything, and she completely misfired her anger on you, and that wasn't right. But let me go real quick to make Gigi a mod. Give me 1 second. Can you guys hear me again? I don't want to answer questions if y'all can't hear me. Okay, cool. Why did your sister mention maple syrup? So I told them they were Canadian. Our T-Trigger was Canadian. And I explained how I figured out that was Trig's wife. And she's like, oh, so they're Canadian. What do Canadians do? They only, eat maple syrup. And I was like, no, they don't just do that. They're Canadians. They're from Canada. There's Canadian things that they do. There's lots of history there. And she's like, okay, whatever. So, you told your sister which handles were causing SI. Were they the same handles she attacked? No. One handle was definitely making me way more upset than the others. And that was Trig's wife, because she has been essentially trolling me for a good amount of time. But they weren't at all causing the suicidal thoughts. I know amusings. That's why I'm deactivating my Twitter tomorrow, and I won't be on YouTube really, unless it's just to watch like my favorite creators like Raw Beauty Christie. But I've been dealing with SI for a long time. I've been inpatient once. It's been something that I've been dealing with for a long time, but the kind of person that I am, I'm not going to name names. No one would know them anyways, but I had a friend while I was in the Army that was in a domestic violence situation. And it was also around a time that was very, very hard for me mentally and emotionally. And I let her come to my house, and I took care of her. I helped her with all of her stuff, filing a report, you name it. She stayed at our house for a long time. My son was like 3 months old when it happened. That's just kind of like the person I've always been. I've always helped people, even if I've been in terrible mindsets. So I'm trying to stop that, if that makes sense. I'm trying to keep in mind that if I'm not okay, that I can't help others. And I can't, be the person that I want to be if I am not actively working on myself. And that has been the hardest thing to change about myself, in all honesty. And I'm really hoping this program, and then, of course, seeing my therapist regularly after that will definitely help me. Are you certified in any way to offer support to people who are in crisis? No. I have taken courses, though, with the Army and then with Trevor Project, because I have a lot of friends, like on PlayStation, for example, or I have friends in the military who have been in crisis where they have been suicidal and they're going to do something, and I've been able to help them. But no, I'm not certified or anything like that. SI is suicidal ideation or suicidal thoughts. It's more of a technical term. A certificate is not ample to help those in crisis unless you're a licensed professional. Stop acting like a pseudo-therapist. I understand that. I will be going to school to become a recreational therapist once I have my stuff in order. But some people refuse to go see a licensed professional or talk to people like the Suicide Hotline or Trevor Project. Like, I have friends that will not call, that will not do anything. And am I supposed to just sit here and let them do it, or am I supposed to get them help? Whether that means letting them talk, and with everything that I've seen in life, I don't feel comfortable leaving someone alone to deal with it. Did your sister or yourself bully Trig's wife off of Twitter? No, I don't think so. If my sister's words did bully her off of Twitter, I'm extremely sorry. I do have an apology at the end, though, and I want to save that for then. Yeah, I didn't want to, I just wanted to make it clear that I'm not a therapist and I'm not ever gonna try to be one, but if there's ways that I can help someone that is freaking out or in crisis or, just needs to vent, I'm going to. I feel like it's very important to do that, especially because I've lost 2 friends to suicide, one actually this year, so it definitely hits a little harder. If I don't think I'm not, I guess, I don't think I'm not cut out for this. I just think it's just a bad time. So I'm hoping that I can come back in a couple of months. In reality, haha. In reality, I know like work like that can take years to accomplish, so I don't know when I'm coming back. That's why I said I don't know for sure, but I definitely think I can, When you went on hiatus previously, you posted links and phone numbers for people and said that if I were you implying people should DM you otherwise? You are, can you, by any chance, rephrase the question? Rosie, I'm trying to answer everyone as quickly as I can. I don't know if there's a giant lag or anything. I'm sorry about that. So, why do I go on hiatus and then seem to constantly back on Twitter the next day? What was the purpose of posting suicide hotline links when you went on hiatus? Okay. The person above you are, I don't know how to say your name. I will answer your question right after I answer you are because they asked it first. I just needed it rephrased. What was the purpose of posting suicide hotline links when you went on hiatus? So normally there are some people in my DMs that will reach out to me when they are in crisis or when they're not doing well, that sort of thing. And I was in a place where even if I did help, I don't know. I couldn't deal with anything else at that time. I wasn't in the place to be listening to someone else feel the same way that I was. Normally, my SI is more passive. It's more like, here's the thought, that would be fun to do, not gonna do it, and then I keep moving forward, if that makes sense. So normally I'm able to deal with it better. But certain times I cannot. And then, what was the question? If I'm understanding correctly, if you are not mentally stable and go on hiatus, why is that you seem to constantly back on Twitter the next day? So when I go on hiatus and I'm extremely overwhelmed, and that's really the only reason why I go on hiatus, is if I'm extremely overwhelmed and I don't know how to deal with anything and I don't know the words that I want to say and I know it will just come out wrong, I go on hiatus. That's what I was doing. But it's not healthy to just say I'm going on hiatus and then come back the next day. I actually have been talking to my therapist about that because I do notice that I have been doing that up until recently. But yeah. Is there any reason other than not being able to go on social media that is keeping you from an inpatient stay, if that's what you think you may need? I can't go inpatient right now because not only does my immediate family need me, but so does my, so I don't really talk to my parents anymore. But we're all grieving right now, and my parents aren't exactly stable either. So they will call me at 2-3 o'clock in the morning if they're also suicidal, so I can help them. So if I were to go inpatient right now and I'm not able to answer their call, I'm scared something's going to happen. You live and learn. Are people trying to say you live and learn, is this a question for me or a question for the chat? My therapist told me to go live because I want to be able to have an open conversation with everyone versus, where you can hear my voice and you can hear what I'm saying. And it's not on Twitter because anything can go wrong on Twitter, honestly. And I want to be able to, where people who have even blocked me, they can hear this, whether it's a later date or anything like that. And they also have the opportunity to talk to me if they want to. Not many understand VA and picture. That too, Kate, honestly. The VA is also terrible, so I'm trying to avoid that like the plague. Yeah, you are. That is why I tend not to talk to them. But because everyone's grieving right now, it's hitting a little bit harder, I guess. So are you going to keep this live up? Yes, I am going to keep this live up. I will not be posting anything else while I'm in the program until I'm ready to come back to Twitter. I don't think it's right if I posted content and then wasn't on Twitter to talk about it, I guess, or comfortable with live streaming. I know I'm not going to be. Pretty much what this program is going to be doing is I put a scab on all my traumas and it's not healing right. So they're going to rip it off. That's the analogy my therapist said. They're going to rip off the scab, clean out the wound, and put a Band-Aid on it so it can heal right. So I really can't be. She didn't memorize them. I sent her screenshots. And instead of letting screenshots be covered like I normally do, when I send them to her, I just left them as is. I was like, I'm not doing this. What do you want to... You want to send more genuine sense. Typing is harder to discern the intention. Yeah, exactly. I'm really nervous that I miscommunicate a lot when I text or when I type anything out or when I tweet anything out. And, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I kind of do better with conversations, especially when I'm not nervous, if that makes sense. I mean, you live and learn. It's a Q&A. If they want to know personal questions, that's fine. And if I feel uncomfortable, I'll just tell them. Are people asking these questions because of what has been going on Twitter? I think so. Don't forget the antibiotic ointment. I will make sure to tell them. I will make sure to tell the therapists. Truly hope you can take a break from strangers on the internet and get help and heal and have a happy life. Yeah, I hope so too. I definitely hope so too. When and where did you hear Nick Snyder call Mocha an it? So personally, I did not. I was told that it happened, and I actually DM'd Mocha about it, asking for the live, of the live of them addressing it, and she told me, because at the time this is when they were deleting lives, and she told me that they were being deleted and that she was sorry, but I'm not going to release the conversation or anything like that. But if I misunderstood the messages, I'm sorry about that. Have you shared details of traumatic, intimate experiences of strangers more than once? No, I only did it once, because I honestly thought I was being manipulated, and in hindsight, I feel terrible about doing it, because I was able to talk with the person about it, and, I don't... How did you come about worshiping the Greek pantheon? So I started looking into paganism in general about last year, and nothing really, I guess, stood out. I was just like, well, this is kind of cool, because I was agnostic before. I was raised Catholic, but I've been agnostic since I was 14. And then, this might, please don't judge me, but I started seeing, I guess, signs of my matron and patron, and I started researching more and reading about it more. And then I found out both my matron and patron were a part of the Greek pantheon, so I decided that's what I would be worshiping. But does Mocha know if Nick called her? I don't know for sure. I didn't exactly ask the question straight out. I just said I was looking for it for these reasons. And that's why I said if I misread something or if I miscommunicated or read it wrong, I'm sorry. I wish you nothing but the best. Take care of you. That's all that matters. Everyone be blessed. Oh, thank you, Live and Learn. I get that from your drama. You don't like unfairness. I'm the same. But sometimes you need to step back and realize it's not your battle to fight. I definitely do. That is definitely a very hard thing that I've been learning, that not everyone needs me to help them, and I don't need to be, just constantly trying to fix things, constantly trying to mediate things, or constantly trying to get people to understand. As people are going to do what they are going to do, and that's something that is easy to say, but it's definitely been hard for me to wrap my head around, I guess. What do you think of Hestia? I know a lot of people worship her, especially those who are Wiccan, but I've never worked with her. I mostly work with Dionysus and Artemis. Allie said, here for the tea, wasn't doxxed. What do you think of that? She's entitled to her opinion, just like everyone else is. Why do you reveal names of family members if you wish to remain anonymous? So, are you talking about the family members that passed away? Because if, could you clarify you are? What do you think of Dionysus? I think he's a party. I think he's in my life because he wants me to do better, and he wants me to have fun. Do you think your sister has learned from this? I don't think she's taken the right lesson out of it yet. The only thing she learned is if she says mean things, I'm gonna get backlash. It's nothing. She hasn't learned that her words have power and can be extremely hurtful. To add to the Greek god questionnaire, which god/goddess is your favorite? So I am not going to piss them off, so I don't have a favorite, but my matron and patron, so the main gods and goddesses that I work with, is Artemis and Dionysus. Did anyone else know your sister was planning this? I don't think so. Are you showing your sister's messages in this live? No, I was working on trying to get the PowerPoint ready so everything can be addressed and it's in one place and it's good. But because streaming is weird, it's not happening. So I'm sorry, but it is on my Twitter. Do you think it's okay to use derogatory terms based on gender? No. So I actually learned this lesson, and it will be, it will be in my apology. So I actually technically misgendered someone, by calling a woman a female I called them a dickhead, and that was wrong, and that was completely wrong. So that will be at the end. But I don't think it's okay. Unless I misinterpreted your question. No, I think I read it right. Yeah, no, it's not okay. Oh, okay, I forgot the... yeah. No, you're fine, Pikachu. Does your sister use the C word around you? She does. When she's extremely mad about our mom or about any other lady in her life that has been very mad, she uses it quite a lot. But I personally don't like saying that word. That's just me though. But I know other people say it, especially in other countries, so I feel like it's up to the person to decide. I'm also gender fluid though, and I feel like if you want to use the C word, you should be female or a woman of any kind. All my favorite people in one spot. Oh, hello. I'm glad you don't say it. It is an awful slur. Yeah, so the B word is the hardest. I have been saying the B word as in BITCH. I've been saying that word since I was like 14. So I've been very mindful. Because I say it in like a loving term, if that makes sense. So I've been trying to be mindful since I've been out. That it's not okay for me to say it since I am gender fluid. Did Cinnamon know your sister was making the account? I don't think that's a question for me. I'm not Cinnamon or my sister. I think you may have missed my last question. Did I? Can you repost it, please? I am you. What is your opinion on Allie saying here for the tea wasn't doxed? Oh no, I did answer that. I said she's entitled to her opinion just like everyone else is. Like I'm entitled to thinking that she was doxed. And so is other people, but she can say what she wants. I'm not her keeper. Holy crap, we've been streaming for 54 minutes. It's a long time, guys. Do we have any other questions? Do we have any other questions? Because I would like to get to my apologies. I don't want this live to be super long so it's easier for people to navigate through it. Yeah, no worries, I am you. No worries. Any idea how long you might take a break for? At least a month. Actually, I think the course is 6 weeks. So at least 6 weeks until my program is done. And then, yeah, at least. I'm not sure how much farther, though. It all really kind of depends on how well I'm doing with my work and everything like that. Is there anything anything Where are my words? Why can't I talk? Is there anything else anyone would like to ask me? There it is. Sorry about that. Okay, well, since no one has any questions, or any more questions, I didn't think this would be mostly about my mental health. I thought it would be other stuff, but okay. I appreciate everyone asking questions and being respectful so far. That is the main goal, as long as that's happening. But I'm going to ask one more time if anyone has questions. If you don't, then I'm going to move on to my apologies. I'm going to wait, because maybe someone's typing, so... Am I just not getting questions, or is Streamlabs being... Could someone let me know if any questions was said after Joe K? Why can't I see questions? Hold on. Let me pause and go to YouTube, because this isn't working. Hello? Can you guys hear me? The chat's not working. I don't know why. I'm still stuck on Joe K asking any idea how long you might take a break for. So I don't know why that's happening. So I'm going to pause again and try to write down as many questions as fast as I can, so we're not pausing in and out. I'm really sorry for the technical difficulties. I didn't realize this was going to happen. And I don't want to make a second stream. Give me 1 second. Okay. So the first question that I was able to see was, do I think Allie is a transphobe or transphobic? Personally, I have not seen anything from her that has been some of the language that I normally associate with people being transphobic. I've asked people to send me screenshots because someone has told me that she has been in the past, but that never happened. And I know I'm pretty new in the community, so I personally don't think she is. I'm going to go back and check again because I can't do this as well as I thought. So the next question that I got is, why do I feel responsible for my sister's actions? So you guys don't know my life story. I'm pretty open, but you guys don't know all of it. But pretty much I've been in like a mom/caretaker role for her since I was about 3 or 4. And because of that, whenever she does something wrong, specifically her, it definitely hits a little bit harder. Like, I know I didn't know any better while growing up, but I kind of feel responsible when she does, I guess, stupid things and hurtful things. So that's why I feel responsible. I also feel responsible because I told her everything. I told her how I was feeling and all this stuff, and that makes me feel like shit. Let me go back and see. So the next question that I got that I could see on the YouTube chat is, do I think, wait, no. Did I read that right? Do you believe racial minorities can be racist, if I'm not mistaken? I think it can happen. I know some minority groups. There's bad eggs in every group. Like there's bad eggs in the trans community. There's bad eggs in any other community. I just think it's more person dependent. I don't think a whole community is, if that makes sense. I just saw that Ellie is in the chat. Hi, Ellie. I don't know if you can hear me. Fine. I definitely understand it a bit more. There are definitely little words that I grew up that I remember. Mia Sorella is one of them. Luchimia is one of them, which means my light. Stuff like that because of my grandparents and my aunts and uncles on my mom's side. So the next question that I see is, why are DMs being shared willy-nilly? I've been trying not to, I guess. There has definitely been instances where DMs were shared because, with the Nick situation and then with the other situation, but I try not to. I feel bad, especially now realizing just how bad it can be. It's a personal conversation. It should stay personal and private. So for that, I'm sorry. I have an apology list, though, that I would like to get to. I don't want to forget about it, and I don't want this stream to be super long. So I'm sorry. How do I feel about Allie lying about Nick's transphobic thing or whatever? I don't agree with the lying at all. It definitely hurt me as a trans person coming forward and talking about his problematic behavior, but I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Was I ever directly involved or indirectly involved with doxing? No, I absolutely not. Me, as someone who is anonymous and would like to keep my anonymity, I think that's the word, I'm not going to do that to someone. Even if the person has been absolutely terrible to me, like some of these accounts that have been stalk accounts and, have said terrible things, that's not what I'm going to do. It's not something I ever want to be a part of that's not something I will ever condone. That is not okay. It's not, just plain and simple. Okay, this is going to be the last question that I answer, and then I'm getting on to apologies. Overall, has my impact on Twitter been positive or negative? Honestly, I think I've done some good. I helped educate some people that didn't know stuff. I don't think a lot of people knew even non-binary was a thing until I joined the community. So that's definitely the good that I've done. And then there's me reacting in not so great ways, like that I will be explaining in my apologies. that has not been okay. So I don't really know. I think it's dependent on the person that you ask. Some people will say it made a positive, some people will say it made a negative, and then me personally, I'm not sure. But I know for sure when I do come back, I want to be a positive force. I want to have a positive impact. You know, I don't want to be in a, like, I don't want my space on Twitter when I come back to be negative from anything from me. I know hate will happen, but I don't want other people to see that. I want people to know that, you know, they can voice their opinions here as long as everyone is respectful and we will agree to disagree, because a lot of people in the community don't know how to do that. Like, for example, with Ellie, I don't agree with her thread, but we can agree to disagree, if that makes sense. Like, that's all I'm gonna say about that. So now I'm going to move on to my apologies. So this first one, I've been writing with my therapist because, you know, this needs to just be said. This one is written, though. I have talked to this person in private already, and we have talked it out, but I also wanted to make it public, and I told them I'm going to be making it public. So this one is specifically for Kismet on Twitter. I lashed out at her by calling her a dickhead. While I'm not sorry for defending my friend, I am sorry for using that language. I see now that some curse words can come across as gender insults, and it could be me as misgendering someone, or just can be a slur in general. And for that, I will make sure to be more mindful of who I'm talking to in the future, whether it's online, in real life, whatever. I want to try to be more mindful in general, and I don't want to make this mistake again, especially because I know I hurt Kismet by saying that, and I don't want to hurt people. So for that, I am extremely sorry. I'm also sorry for anyone else that I may have offended while being on Twitter. No explanation can justify any of my past actions, nothing, when I would get shady or snarky, I never meant to, I may have meant to offend them at the time, but now, especially now, I don't like that person. I don't want to be that person, and I want to keep moving forward and, being positive, being a good force. But I also said this on Twitter, but I want to say it here too. I'm sorry if my sister hurt anyone. Her words were extremely hurtful, to say the least. And, besides everything that I've shown on Twitter to try to give closure to the situation, I'm still extremely sorry. I'm extremely sorry to Trig's wife, to Ellie, to Sev. It wasn't okay. None of what was said was okay. It doesn't matter what, even Trig's wife, she's been trolling me. It doesn't matter. That was not okay. Those words will never be okay. And for that, I am deeply sorry. Trying to remember. Her words were extremely hurtful, though. And because of that, I'm going to continue talking to her behind the scenes and helping her grow. She probably will never be in the community, but in general, for her everyday life, she can't act like that. She needs to know if she gets into an agreement with someone, she can't react in that way. That's not okay. And then I also want to personally apologize to Sev publicly. again, I shared a personal DM with a good friend because I thought it was a manipulation tactic, and that's not okay regardless of what I was thinking at the time. And I was wrong. I was wrong in general because she wasn't trying to do that. She was just trying to, bring another perspective to me and, to help me see what she's feeling and stuff like that. And for that, I am deeply sorry. I know words don't mean much, and that action's really gonna show that I changed. And that's why I need to take this break, because if I don't take the break, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make the changes that I need to make within myself. So I'm really sorry to everyone that I may have hurt, and I really do hope that this community in general can learn to be a little bit nicer to one another. We've all got shit to deal with. I got shit to deal with. Everyone's got shit to deal with. Me, Ellie, Allie, Georgia, Saya, Tea Time, all of the players in the community right now. Everyone has something they're dealing with. So I think if we can at least approach situations with kindness, that will help, or hopefully help for the future. With that, though, I'm gonna wish you guys good night or good morning, depending on where you are. I hope everyone has either a very restful and peaceful evening or a very beautiful, peaceful day. I'm sorry the chat broke in the middle of the Q&A, so I can't really see what people are saying. But I really do hope everyone's okay and continues to be okay and just can feel, I guess, a little bit better. Do what you gotta do as long as it's healthy for you. Goodbye.